Talk about clearing the hips. This is something that is going to make a massive difference the next time that you play and practice, because if you can clear your hips correctly, it's going to help you release the club correctly. So what happens with most amateur golfers is that you end up getting too stuck on your lead side. So too much weight kind of ends up progressing onto this side. You get stuck here and then you end up sort of trying to pull up with your arms, but the problem is this is obviously massively sacrificing your distance and your speed. So let's sort of break it down a little bit in terms of what needs to happen. One of the things that I talk about a lot on the channel, and the reason why I like my Swing Buddy, is because I can talk about the retraction of the left shoulder. So I'm a big believer, if you can get that left shoulder moving back and behind you, as I'm demonstrating here, what this will do is this will enable that left arm to freewheel down towards your target to obviously give you more speed, as opposed to somebody like I say who gets stuck more this way. If your shoulder can only advance this far, this is why you're going to be sacrificing tremendous amounts of distance. However, obviously how this is moving is going to have a big influence on where this goes. So what needs to happen is we need to make sure that when we're coming in towards this sort of impact and post-impact areas, we've got to make sure that this left hip is moving more back in towards the center of our stance, as I'm demonstrating like so. See, allowing my left hip to move back in towards the center of my stance is going to enable my left leg to straighten. And for those of you that like the discussions of things like vertical ground force, that's what I'm saying. If I start my downswing, okay, and I get the feeling of momentarily moving my upper body over my lead leg, okay, this re-establishes that weight pressure underneath my left side, and then from here I can very much focus on getting this left hip moving back and behind me, as I'm demonstrating like so, as I continue to rotate my chest. And as I continue to rotate my chest like so, you can see the way my left shoulder goes back and behind me. Now, why is that so important? Well, I think that is so important because what I see a lot of people doing now is that are trying to use the ground, is they're just doing things like sort of standing up and just flinging your arms at it. And that's not what you want to do. So if I was to swing the club left hand only here, you can see the way I bring my left arm up to my chest. As I start, I'm going to use my right hand just to take the weight of the club and lift it up as well. So you can see as I start my downswing, similar to what I said to you, I get my chest moving downward, okay? And now from here, what I want to do is I want my chest to keep moving. So if my chest keeps moving, this helps me narrow my hand path. I don't want to just stand up and just do something like this or spin my foot back out the way. So as I keep rotating my chest towards the target, what's obviously also simultaneously happening is similar to what I said to you guys. As I'm moving this way, you see the way I let my left hip move back and behind me. And what that's doing is that's unweighting that left leg. So as I move this way, that left leg starts to straighten, my chest keeps rotating towards my target, and all of a sudden you can see the way that this is moving back and behind me, but obviously my right side is coming down, and as I rotate through the ball, this means I'm getting the best of both worlds, where I'm able to stabilize that club face, okay, and not just like stand up and throw my hands and arms at it, but I'm also getting that retraction of that left shoulder back. So one of the things you can do with the Swing Buddy is, because it's the length and the weight of a 7-iron, is you can practice doing exactly that. You can take hold of it this way, swing up towards the top, and then the feeling basically is, as I swing back and through, I'm getting this left hip moving back and behind me, so it's moving more into the back of my center of my stance. My chest keeps moving through, so you can see the way I'm able to strike the ground, not just sort of do something like this, right? We want to make sure we're still turning through the golf ball. We know what the pros are doing. We watch them. They're getting this blend of using the ground. So obviously, yeah, pushing, like I say, left leg straightening helps the left hip moving back, coming in towards there, but you've still got to keep turning through the golf ball because you've still got to find a way to stabilize that club face. So a simple drill that you guys can practice: grab an alignment stick, you know, place it through your belt loops like so, and then what you're trying to get this feeling of is, if you want to hit some shots like so, you want to swing up, and you want to get that feeling of your upper body moving down over your left leg. This helps that alignment stick go more down and around, and then get this left hip moving back behind you. The more rotation that's created, the more the left leg can straighten, the more that you're able then to push off, swing through, and start to produce some really good results. I'll see you soon.